Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Video Game Hunting Store Edition. So, I find myself a long way from home today. I headed down to a zoo. It almost a 2-hour drive away from me. So, yeah, so everything in this video is basically impromptu. Just decided to see what was around me after I got out of the zoo. So, I was basically on the coast, and they had a bunch of thrift stores and everything like that, but they were all closed. So yeah, that was fun. I did end up finding 2 stores I could go to. I wanted to hit a video game store as well while I was down there, but they closed at 7 on a Friday night. So that was unfortunate because it was 6:30, and by the time I would have got there, according to my GPS, it would have been 7 o'clock. So yeah, that wasn't fun. But I did end up finding 2 places I wanted to check out. The first one, basically, I just stumbled upon because I was going to go to the beach since I was that close to the ocean. And I saw this museum in like an old mill style building and decided to go check out the museum for a little bit. Came on out, and I was walking back to my car to continue on to the beach area, and there was an antique store on the basement floor. I mean, giant antique store. So I'm like, well, maybe they have some old video games. So that's what this next video, the beginning of the video is going to show, is searching the antique store. This place was huge. I can't stress that enough. I could have probably walked it for just browsing wise, like just looking and everything, without really like searching for what I want, just kind of like window shopping. Easily hour and a half. It took up the whole mill building. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the East Coast, but a lot of our mill buildings are pretty large. So this one was a pretty good size building. It was a solo building right by the ocean, but the antique store took up the whole basement. Their biggest section was furniture, which made it a lot bigger because they just kept going. Basically, it was like storage. But its antique store almost felt like a not a thrift shop, but a flea market style thing. It looked like an indoor flea market antique shop where each section had a number and you had to say where you got the item from, and that's how much it was from, so that person could get credited. So it was weird. I've never been to an antique store like this. Usually when I go to ones, they're basically just thrift stores calling themselves antique shops. So yeah, I was looking all over the place on this one. So let's check out the video, and we'll see what we got when we come back. Alright, as you saw from that video, the place was huge. Um, it had a lot of cool stuff. Unfortunately, nothing that I wanted. Well, there was stuff I wanted. No video game stuff. And I don't like buying from antique shops usually unless it's something I really want because the prices are kind of high. This place was getting ready to close in 20 minutes when I went in there. So even if I found something, it would have been a hassle to get them to help. When I was walking around, you could tell they were all in the mood to leave. They were cleaning up and everything, but it was huge. It had a lot of cool things, a lot of old stuff, a lot of cool toys, a lot of antique stuff, just nothing that I would have wanted paid full price for because nothing's really worth paying full price for. Not many things anyways. I think out of the few video game things that I would pay probably full price for because I doubt that I'll ever run into them would be probably Vectrex and a Virtual Boy. Not many other things I would go out and pay full price for because most things I feel like I would run into. The only thing I would want that I know I couldn't find around here that I'd go on eBay and just pay the full price for if I had the extra money would be the SG-1000, or not the SG-1000, the Sega Master System, but the Japanese version, the white one, where the controllers go on the side. I think that looks awesome. That's one of the ones I would want. You know, I know Vectrex are around here, Virtual Boys are around here. I know maybe I could find it one day, but most likely not. I'd just pay full price for it if I found it at a store just because I'm more likely to run into it. And worst case, even if I did run into it at a yard sale, I'd still buy it and make the trade to get my money back from the first one and call it a day. But yeah, this place had great stuff. I liked walking around it, and I wish I could have walked around for like another half an hour and just actually really looked at all the stuff. They had a great little electronics section. I love old electronics, old phones, old cameras, all that stuff. They look cool sometimes, and just the things they could do in it, it was awesome. Yeah, so no video games, as you saw. A lot of books, a lot of this, a lot of toys, but it was cool. Maybe there was, and I just overlooked it. That's what happens when you're trying to look around a store that size in 20 minutes. But yeah, it was cool. Alright, so now as we find ourselves on the next journey of this stop, they didn't have a Goodwill or anything, but they did have a Salvation Army. So I decided to go that way next. All the thrift stores I looked at were churches, and they were only open on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Obviously not a Friday. Couldn't find any pawn shops on my Google Maps for some reason. The service down there was so spotty for me, so I had to keep parking in certain spots to try to get things, and not everything would show because it was limited offline view, so it was a little annoying. But, you know, I was in a different town, so I had to look at some stuff. So I ended up at a Salvation Army, and you know, what can I say? It's a Salvation Army. I really don't like shopping there because they tend to... Oh, no. Sorry. Not the Salvation Army. I drove to a Salvation Army. And it ended up being an actual Salvation Army, like, church building and everything, not a store. So, that was an interesting 10 minutes. I saw the building. I'm like, alright, doesn't look open. Doesn't look like a donation shop. Parked, looked up at the place. Yep. Church, not an actual Salvation Army like store donation. So that was a 10-minute drive. So then on my way back from the beach, coming home, I found a Savers. Now Savers I don't really like buying because no returns, no exchanges, especially I don't like buying from thrift stores like that overcharge. Like, you know, a $5 or $10 thing, yeah. But when you get up to like $20, $30 for items, I don't like the whole exchange thing. No exchange or anything, because that's a lot to be risking on something you don't even know that works. So, yeah, went in this store real quick. They had some stuff. We'll see it. I'll catch you on the way back. All right, so as you saw, they had a couple things. Was I going to pay that kind of money for an Atari Flashback, the first one? No. Maybe this, or I think that was the third one, sorry. Maybe the second one, because it can be modded to play original arcade cartridges. That's a cool idea, and I may spend it for that, but I mean, that's the price they're going for on eBay. And on eBay, if it doesn't work, I can at least return it. Or even on Craigslist, I could try it out right then and there and know it works. I looked around, they had nothing I could plug this thing into and test it works, so I wasn't happy. PS2, no cables, $20. Like, nope, not even gonna bother. I have plenty of PS2s. If it was like $5, I would have picked it up. Just because, I guess. Yeah. So they didn't really have too much. Games were okay. Nothing special. But hey, you have to stop, look around. I like looking at how other stores away from me do things. It's pretty much like the Savers around me. But hey, you have to stop in. So yeah, that trip was a little blah. So as you can see, none of the places there had anything to really pick up. But it was cool looking for them. It was cool searching. I like stopping in other stores, so it wasn't a bad day. All right, so that's it for the hunting. I do have some games for my other store pickups throughout the week, for my local Goodwills that I go into all the time. I don't want to keep showing the same Goodwills. That's why I'm showing you only a couple stops that I go to that I've never been to before or I haven't gone to in a long time. So if you want to see the games I got for this week's video game store pickups, watch that video. That'll be going up shortly after this one. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, sharing, and liking this video. Don't forget to do all that. Hit the bell, and check out my other videos. And if you have any comments on some feedback that help me make the videos better, let me know. And alright, guys, have a good day, and catch you next time.